Hey there, and welcome to this portion of the class where I'm going to be teaching you all about the strategy session, which I believe is the most critical step in the entire course. So get ready for this one. I'll tell you why. So what is the strategy session? Basically, what it is on a surface level is it's a live video call or an in-person meeting run by the brand strategist, which is you, to transfer all of the information from the client to you in a filtered and organized way via Keynote. That's how I organize and filter everything, is a Keynote slide deck. And also to second brainstorm on branding solutions together. This is the thing that I really believe the key to getting the answers that you need. So this is what you're going to do the strategy session before you start any of the strategy or creative work. Before you start brainstorming, before you start anything, you need this call. I usually like to schedule it a week within the client sending their homework or the questionnaire and the Pinterest board. Why is this even important? Now, your client is likely coming to you with a problem. Likely they're having trouble identifying gaps in their brand messaging, or they want to increase their sales, or they maybe want to talk to an entirely different audience altogether. There's some reason, though, why they are contacting you and why they're wanting to do brand messaging at this time. I mean, you should have figured that out in the sales call and in the questionnaire. But as a brand strategist, it can feel like a lot of pressure to be the one to come up with all the answers, especially if we don't feel like we have all the specialties in marketing and in business. Like, we don't know all these things. It's okay. I truly believe that our clients are the ones that have all the answers, whether or not they know it. Our job is just to ask the right questions and to be able to help them discover the answers, because they're the ones that really understand who their clients are, what their industry is, what's going to be successful. And with the right framework and an outside perspective, you can help them find the answers. So take all the pressure off of you of feeling like you've got to come up with all the answers, because this framework is really going to help you discover that and brainstorm it with your clients. Now I'm going to show you what's actually in the strategy deck. So this is welcome to my strategy deck. It's a little outdated as far as my branding goes, but the content is still relevant. It's fairly short, just a little intro into here. You can see I've actually filled it out with, this is a current client's information in here. This isn't empty. I quickly define what a brand is at the beginning, talk about why their audience is so important. I think that's important to tell them why we're doing everything. And then I start going right into who their audience is, and I start the dating process with their audiences. I don't know if you've ever heard of the app People Map, but I use that just to verify with them who their audience is. And then I do a little bit of a deeper dive where we actually, what I like to call, start dating them, and we really figure out how it is that their people think. And then I jump into, this is like a brief overview of like a sales funnel in a story format, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I have a page dedicated to their audience's external and internal problems. And then here we start brainstorming some solutions. And then we very briefly go over what their values and their voice is. And I have a process for coming up with these words and how we do that. And then sometimes or not, I use this page where we just brainstorm, what is it that really is important to them about this business. And it doesn't look like a lot, but this is usually a 2-hour phone call. You can really dive as deep as you want into this strategy session deck. So now that I've quickly gone over like the slides in the strategy deck, it's great, but there is a video dedicated to each page in the slide deck, telling you more in depth about the purpose of each slide deck and how to have a really successful outcome with that specific slide. So go and make sure you watch every single one of those videos if you really want to nail each one of those.